Armegedon now.
Yes, we are back with the Gran Turismo 7 recommended force feedback settings from Thrustmaster for the T598. That is for the current version of GT, obviously. So let's get it. Right, it says the force feedback max torque is recommended to adjust the slider in the game according to the car being used, depending on its performance points, weight, and drivetrain type, which I don't personally do. I just have everything on full. For some cars, it's important to not set the force feedback max torque too high, as this can cause the game's spring effect to overwhelm all other force feedback effects. Then it goes on to say the force feedback sensitivity for all cars is recommended to keep the slider at 1 to maintain linear force feedback and avoid clipping or oscillations. And like I said, I have this on 10. I was using the TGT and the TGT2, so I can probably afford to have them up on 10, like the sensitivity and the torque and all that. So this is probably for general settings for like entry-level wheels, I'm guessing. Right, TCS, a low traction control system setting always provides more detailed force feedback. And if you're a regular player online and like to get in them higher ranked lobbies and whatnot, setting them faster times on GT, you know all about having the traction control off. Right, now we've got that little bit of info out of the way, we get onto the main part. For all cars, adjust the T598 settings using the T598 dashboard as follows. Firstly, I'm going to run through each of the settings so you've got a better idea of what you're adjusting on the wheelbase. So what do all these modes do? So the first one, force feedback, that's pretty self-explanatory. Lets you adjust the force feedback and it goes all the way up to 100% master, going from the least aggressive to the most aggressive. Next is the mode setting, which is used to change the force feedback's responsiveness. Next is inertia. So the faster the car, the higher the inertia. High inertia increases the force to turn the wheel. The friction setting lets you adjust the motor's friction when turning the wheel slowly or not at all. The boost low setting lets you adjust the light to medium effects from the force feedback. And then boost high allows you to adjust the medium to high effects of the force feedback. So like hitting walls and collisions and stuff like that. Next we have speed, which is basically a safety setting. This controls the wheel's rotation speed. So if you was to let go of the wheel and it's still spinning. Next we have the force feedback damper, which simulates the weight of the wheel when steering. So if you want maximum responsiveness, use a lower damper force. Spring is the setting where the wheel returns to its central position when there is no force feedback. You should only change this spring value in games that don't have any force feedback. Next is the gear jolt setting, which is pretty self-explanatory. It lets you feel the gear jolts through the rig when you're shifting gears or through your steering rim. And then we have end stop, which basically lets you change the force of the end stop damping. So you want to set your force feedback to 3, your master gain on 100%, your mode you want it to be set to E, so you have beginner, sport, performance and extreme. So go to E for extreme. Friction you want off. Boost low, you want +2. Boost high, you want +2. You decrease these if you want less vibration effects. The speed you set to EXT, so you have low, mid, high, and extreme. Set the speed to extreme. The damper you always want to keep at 0, and the spring you want to keep at 0. But it says here to put the spring on auto, and then it says automatically adjusted by the game. But in the actual T598 settings, there is no auto mode. So have it on 0. And the gear jolt, this is a personal preference. It says to have it on high. Obviously, you've got low, mid, and high. I personally have it on high. And then end stop, you have also on high. So that is the settings for GT7 recommended by Thrustmaster using the T598. So basically, just whack everything on high, everything on extreme, except your damper and your springs. Oh yeah, and you want to set the new inertia setting, which come with a new update, hence why it's not on this list. You want to set that to high. And then lastly here, we just have some quick examples for the T598. Tests conducted on Dragon Trail Seaside Track. Test conducted with traction control set to 1. So if you want to take a look at them cars, if any of you use these cars, none of them are group 3 or 4. So I doubt it. There's some settings for some cars there. So yes, my G's, let me know down in the comments how you get on with these settings. And I'm going to leave you now with this rank A daily race around Bathurst. Let's see if we can catch Scotty in the Mazda Atenza Group 4. And I will catch you on the flip side. It's Armageddon now and the resistance.